good in the web? I'm your man Q, back again with some more. Well, it hasn't been some more because it's been a long ass time, honestly, since I have done a podcast. And to tell you the truth, I've been in the lab all day and had a guest over, my dude, the Black Mage, and I was doing my best. We were doing our best to try and configure, doing the whole dual screen with the mics and everything. Well, not really the dual screens, but doing something when it comes to the dual mics and getting all that set up. But anyway, duty called on his part, so I'm left to go solo. I'm like Bobby Brown with New Edition. Good to go solo. No, y'all don't know about Bobby Brown? There's a whole bunch of R. Kelly shit going on, but y'all know about Bobby Brown? So I still decided that with the subjects that we were going to talk about, I dropped them in myself because, well, it wouldn't be the first time that I've done that. And, well, I'm also the only child, so I am comfortable with this particular situation. And the first thing that I have to talk about, and you already know it's got to do something with Nintendo. You already know it has to do with Nintendo. I didn't make any New Year's resolutions, but I made some vows last year before the new year started, what and how I was going to approach my channel and what I was going to be doing with the channel. And first and foremost is to make more consistent content quicker, because I like making content, but I be in the lab too long and be editing too hard. But oh my God, have mercy. What I want to do is reach over a G of subscribers this year and become an actual member again after they stripped me, last year, because that whole Logan Paul stuff. We're not gonna get into all of that. But the first thing I have to talk about, going all the way back with Nintendo, is the Nintendo Pro. Now, when I first heard about Nintendo Pro, I was tripping a little bit because I'm like, hold on, what do you mean? What do you mean? Nintendo took Sony's name? But then when I thought about it, I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, you know what? It's not so bad, because when does Nintendo bite other people? Like, well, at least Sony and Microsoft. Usually it's the other way around. And the Pro surname actually fits a lot better with Nintendo, as in the Nintendo Switch Pro, than it does with the PlayStation Pro, because the PlayStation Pro, as we all know, is really not a Pro. It's kind of like a no, because it's better graphics, but it's not pure 4K. It's just upscaling. And yeah. But word on the web is that the Nintendo Switch Pro is going to be able to play higher definition games. So what that could mean for us as the consumers is that Nintendo might just make a system that can handle games that can run off of Real Engine 4 and Frostbite. And I know they have some games that can do that now, but what I mean is that the word on the web is that it will be able to handle it a lot more comfortably than what the Nintendo Switch is doing now, which would equal being able to get some of those Red Dead games. It will also equal being able to get some more of the Bethesda games that looks and feels a lot closer to its competitors, being PlayStation and the Xbox One zuzz, because Xbox One got like 100 zuzz. Xbox One X, Xbox One Z, Xbox One W, Xbox One Q. No, they ain't messing with my letter. But anyway, the Nintendo Switch Pro is looking like it has a bigger possibility to do something in that form and fashion to be an actual Pro than the PlayStation Pro did. So what does that mean again for consumers? That means that with the Nintendo Switch Pro coming out, they probably can charge a good $299 and or a little bit extra, maybe $350 or $399. I hope it's not that expensive. I hope they keep it at like a $299 bid. And it won't probably have the docking station, which would be not mandatory, for you can get it as an extra side feature for, of course, the $89.99 as it is, and you would just plug and play it like you do the Nintendo DS's now. And speaking of the DS's, I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of the damn DS's. I've been wanting the DS's to go since they announced the Switch, and I'm sorry for all the millions and millions, and literally this time, millions of fans that have the Nintendo Switch, have the Nintendo DS's. I'm sorry that y'all got all these games you ain't gonna be able to play, and they ain't gonna be able to make no more for y'all. Yada yada this, yada yada that. But I will tell you, I've been waiting for 20-something years for them to actually consolidate, crush together, mesh, whatever word and adjective and verb you want to use, put all that shit together, or we can finally get all the games under one umbrella. Meaning, Golden Sun, one of my favorite RPG series, could actually have been on like a GameCube and or now on a Switch system rather than being on a handheld, because the Nintendo Switch, the regular edition, would be able to handle a game like that. And not only handle a game like that, but without a DS, then it's no other reason for it not to be on a Nintendo Switch system, because, well, there's no other system for it to come to. Now, some of the interesting things about that is Nintendo had a tendency to make certain games back in the day only for certain systems, as in one game that might work on the Nintendo 3DS, the new one will not work on the old one, and that was actually because something that the competitors, or something that is not competitors, that's something that Nintendo gave the developers, developers, that's something that Nintendo gave the developers the ability to do if they wanted to make it for them. So if it's going to be a really high-res game, as in a Kingdom Hearts game or a Final Fantasy VII, like the remake game, then what that means is those of us who would get the Pro, see how I already said I would buy it, because, I mean, shit, why not? Those of us that would get the Pro would be able to get those high-res GTA games, even probably Call of Duty games and other games like that, the first-person shooters, and what people consider the AAA titles now, which is crazy, but whatever. And then everybody else who has the Nintendo Switch, they probably can drop the price, like the Nintendo Switch we all know and love and have now. They will go ahead and drop the price for that to be $200 or $250. I'm saying probably $200, because $200 is a great point. And the Nintendo DS, the 3DS is like $179 or $199. The XL is like $199 right now, which is perfect because parents can afford that, and you can get two Switches that play those games. And then the parents, because a lot, you know what, folks in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s and higher have jumped back on bandwagon with Nintendo because of the fact that you can take these quality H2O games and go any and everywhere with them. And it's some really great ass games too. I mean, the Mario is questionably one of the best Marios. The Zelda is one of the best Zeldas. Mario Kart Deluxe 8 is one of the best Mario Karts, and so is the Smash Brothers. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to be doing when it comes to Metroid, Pokemon, which this Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee did a lot better than I was expecting it to do. And then I'm interested to see what they're going to do with new IPs, like, well, old new IPs. Like, well, are we ever going to get a Golden Sun, y'all? Can we get another custom Robo? You know what? What else can we go into the vault and get? I would love to see another Star Tropics. I mean, damn, I would love to see some of these great IPs that Nintendo has resurface. Can we even get another Mike Tyson's Punch Out? That would be cool. In a Wario Land. But you know what? That's something for another day. Now, the next thing I have to jump into is, I've seen a lot of people been making videos about it and talking about it, and I probably coulda and shoulda, woulda. I didn't do it last year, which was the games I want to most see or play for the 2019. Now, to be honest, I just had to go to GameStop and pick up a list, and it's only a handful of games, like right off the bat, that are confirmed that are coming out that I want to get. The first game that I want to get is Kingdom Hearts 3. And the first game I want to get is Kingdom Hearts 3. And the reason why I want to get Kingdom Hearts 3, even though I didn't finish and complete Kingdom Hearts 2, is because Kingdom Hearts in the initial run was one of my favorite games. If it wasn't for the fact that Final Fantasy X came out like the same year or just a few months apart, Kingdom Hearts 2 would have been my favorite RPG of that year at that time, because the game took some of my favorite things, Disney and Square, and put them in the pot, and lickety splickety dot, you know, we had a classic. Now, when it came to Kingdom Hearts 2, I kind of got a little lost and a little bored because it was so much information and everything packed in that at that time in my life, I wasn't digesting it correctly like I should have. And plus, I felt it was a lot easier than the first one. Like, if y'all remember the first Kingdom Hearts had so much difficulty in it that I restarted the game and leveled myself up to like level 10, just fighting Heartless and stuff on the island over there with my boy Waka, Selfie, and who else was there? And Titus or Titus, depending on how you say it. I like Titus. Titus kind of sound like a titty or sound kind of soft, even though he is kind of soft, but that's is what it is. That game drops on January of this year, and like I said, when I went to go pick up the list, I had to pre-order it because I didn't pre-order it. So what I did do, since I did not beat Kingdom Hearts 2, and I do not feel like going back in the archives and playing it before the new Kingdom Hearts comes out, because I'm still playing Dragon Quest 11. I was streaming it not too long ago. I still got to beat that. And Smash is out. I watched some documentaries on the story, which I already knew the story and everything with Kingdom Hearts, but I watched some documentaries on the story, like a 30-minute whole timeline loop with it, and I suggest, even if you beat it or you haven't, and you want to get all the points to come together, like the card-based games and the whole linear story of everything, and about Ansem and this and that, and who's Aqua and who's Venice, and all the characters, and all what Mickey's part is, and Sora and Riku and Kairi. I always like the name Kairi. And when you walk away, if you want to get all that, I would suggest looking it up before the game comes out so you can refresh yourself. But other than Kingdom Hearts coming out, I'm really super excited to see what Nintendo has to offer when it comes to this Animal Crossing, because I keep on saying, preaching damn near, that the Animal Crossing with the phone app is going to revolutionize what Nintendo is doing when it comes to their phone app. The internet and stuff is shown right now with the botchy Smash Brothers internet and setup. They're still a little shitty. They still need to do some cleaning up when it comes to that. However, the phone app is not as bad as it was set out to be, or what people are portraying it. And I mean, what, $10 or $20 for the whole year is not bad for the functions and features that it does. Like, I primarily already use my phone for pretty much everything anyway, so it wasn't too far-fetched that if I was already using my phone for everything, that to hook it up so I can game and stuff too, and I can already see myself out in the real world scanning things and playing with different items and stuff, to exploring different areas, kind of like how Pokemon Go did, where you would be on certain areas where certain Pokemons would be there, like you're by the beach, it would be water Pokemon. I can see certain things doing that when it comes to Animal Crossing, and then those items you're able to gather, bring them back through the online, because remember, everything is going to be a family of games, and bring that back home, and then you're able to use those items that you got on your local Animal Crossing game. Now just think about that for a second, digest that, take it in. That's not that bad for $60 or $80 altogether, because we are spending something on Get the Family Pack, but that's, you got to do your own family calculation. What I'm saying is, for the quality of game and experience, that's not bad, because Nintendo, again, is the only video game company out of Xbox, PlayStation, and itself, Nintendo, where it's really just focused on dedicated on gaming. And if you can tell that by a lot of the games that we get, because what they're doing is they're trying to immerse us into the playability and the gameability of being a game. Now, let me take my fanboyism out of it, because I do love Sony. I did love some Xbox a little bit when they had games. Another game that I'm excited about is that Ace Combat 7, and I wasn't really a huge person on VR and or a huge person on virtual reality for that matter, but what's happened is, this game is to be announced, by the way, and what happened is I got super excited about this because it made me think of, what was that, Steel Platoon? What was that game for Xbox that came out, like the original Xbox? They had like the huge, the joysticks and everything, where you can make the whole thing and build it up around on your desk and everything. I was excited about that then. I couldn't afford it then, but I was excited about that. And the Ace Combat has the flight simulator stick that you're able to do. I think they're like $220 or something like that. You can get them on the web for. And I was excited about that, being able to hook that to the VR, because it looks like you're really playing and immersing yourself into like full aviation stuff. This wouldn't surprise me if the military start using things like this. If they don't already, I'm not military, but if they don't already start using I know they use simulation with other games, But this wouldn't surprise me if they use simulation when it came to things like this with the virtual reality, so you can get used to how you're moving and vibing and everything inside of the real world or in the game. So then when you're in the real world, you'll know exactly how that is. And usually I don't buy games that's out of my wheelhouse like this. I'll try every now and again like I did with Red Dead, but usually I don't do too many games like that. But I might take a chance on this, and if not, I might even red box it, which is funny. I'm also really waiting to see what the hell they're going to be doing with Metroid. Everybody wants another Metroid Prime, but me being a person who's not a big first-person shooter fan, I don't want to see Metroid as I know it's already Prime 4 is already out, but I'm waiting for the law that is Shigeru Miyamoto to come in like he did back in 2001, 2-ish, when they were making Metroid a third-person game, like the Super Nintendo side-scrolling, game, and he came in and said, scratch it. And that's when the whole hype of Halo was out at that time. And Nintendo, and they decided, hey, we're going to listen to the Godfather Nintendo and make this game something different. And I'm waiting for them, or I'm hoping and praying to the gaming gods that Nintendo can do something on that level where they take the chance and not make it just a whole first-person shooter, but make it a third-person action-based game and have some first-person shooter elements in it, so you can get the best of both worlds. You can even, when Samus turns into the ball, she can do into a first-person mode there, or even when she's shooting, if she wants, she can do a first-person mode there, or even like with Skyrim or a lot of the Sega games, you're able to do third-person or first-person, and I would love to see something like that. Or even if you guys have played the game that was on the Wii, which was The Last Story, which I'm really hoping that they bring that back to Part 2. There's been rumblings of The Last Story Part 2. Probably the last role-playing game that actually had a love story. And Hanabu Sakagachi, who's one of my favorite producers for, look how I got excited about talking about the dude, the godfather of Final Fantasies 1 through 10, he made Blue Dragon, Lost Odyssey, and The Last Story. I'm waiting to see if they're going to bring that back. But if Metroid did something like that, where you would have certain stealth modes and actions that you could do first-person modes in and use your abilities, that would be perfect. So I would love to see Samus also go into space and do different bounty hunting missions. And then if she's going to ZB, or she's going from her ship or different places, then she can have encounters or bosses or battles in space, and then be able to even go out and explore, kind of like how an open world game, where she's like how Zelda is, but explore different planets. Now each planet doesn't have to be something crazy. It could be something like that old Bucky O'Hare game from the NES, where you're just going to an ice planet, fire planet, earth planet, and you just have like some bootleg stuff. But you know what I mean. I'm not just saying piece the games together. What I'm saying is it can have more, interactivity, and that's not even a word, damn. It can have more interactive elements to the planets in different situations than you're doing than being one place, or just being a standard first-person shooter through the visor type game, or even the standard just third-person. Mix those elements together, and then do a ranking system, and then and allow it more to be done. Like Samus is one of the better characters Nintendo has, and she doesn't get its full representation as she should. She's badass still on Smash Brothers. Like, she's actually one of my go-tos, more so than she's been in a long time. She's a little quicker on this one, in my opinion. I'm also really waiting, because I have too many projects in the lab, and one of the projects I have is working with RPG Maker MV, and I'm really looking forward to that dropping on the Switch. Now, the Switch has made it when you get a role-playing game creator on your system. It hasn't been that many systems that has it. Most of them have been Sony, or PlayStation, or the PC. I think they did one for the DS, but the DS, Game Boy Advance, DS, the handheld Nintendo system, the Game Boy's lineage, has been like one of the best-selling systems of all time, and they kind of count all of the Game Boys, I believe, in DS in the same wheelhouse, if I'm not mistaken. But even with saying that, I can't wait to sink my teeth into the games that I've already been creating for RPG Maker MV and put them on the Nintendo Switch. That means that once I make it on the computer, that I already have my story Refugee and Nemo, Little Nemo, the Dream Chaser. I already can put those and port those things over and have other people play them on the Nintendo Switch. That's an amazing thing. That's amazing thing for entrepreneurs and video game enthusiasts and just everywhere, because this way you can really fully push and promote story versus just graphics, even though you can make some pretty graphical games in it if you take that time to do so. There's some other games that are coming out that I'm interested in, but I can't think of every single one off the top of my head right now. But for now, those are the main ones that I want to see. Of course, all the Final Fantasies that are dropping for the Switch, gotta cop them, gotta have them. I know I already own them for the Sony. I own them for every system. I still want them again. One of the fantasy games I wish, but know they're not going to recreate anytime soon, is my Chrono Trigger. I'm still not sure what the HE double hockey sticks Square Enix is doing right now with their shifts and makeups and stuff, what they're doing. I mean, but hey, you know what? Keep on, just, you know, I don't even know what to say about them. I really just don't even know what to say about them. We go ahead and fast forward to something about anime and what am I watching and what you should be watching for anime. Well, anime is one of those things, unlike video games, is anime has so much content that I can sit here and suggest something for you to watch that came out in the 80s or the 90s and it can still be relevant to today, versus like a video game where I can tell you to go and play. Now, not every game stands the test of time, but a lot of them do. Chrono Triggers, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10, Secret of Mana, certain games, Metal Gear, you know, certain games stand the test of time, but other ones don't. Anime has more of a tendency to stand the test of time because unlike it being interactive, we're actually able to see what's going on, and most of the time it's quicker. You can finish an anime series, unless it's Luffy and them boys on One Piece, faster than you can beat a video game. Like, I got 80 hours right now in Dragon Quest 11, and I'm just messing with this damn squid. I don't even think I'm about 45% or so into the game. I just got my baby Jade on it. But anyhow, what I've been watching is I just started Psycho Pass again, and I know y'all heard me talking about Psycho Pass, episode 2, and I like this series so far. But the only thing about it is either I'm talking with somebody, or I, end up doing something else, or something distracts me. I gotta go to work. I have to sit and spend a day or so just concentrating solely and exclusively on Psycho Pass, so that way I can actually play the game. I'll play the game. Look, I'm gamer mentality. I can actually watch the anime series because I already know it's good, and I've had so many people already tell me. I'm like the last of the Nahegans who hasn't watched it. I also still am a Toonami head, and I'm trying to give Boruto another chance because Boruto and Black Clover, I started liking Black Clover more than Boruto. But what happened is that's because Asta stopped yelling so much, and I've caught some episodes where it's not so bad and it's actually showing some substance. And I've been on a lot of Twitter and Instagram posts. People promote Black Clover so much. People saying it's better than my hero. I don't know if it's better than my hero, but then again, some of them same people, and people are talking about that My Hero is the best shonen of all time. And let me tell y'all straight up and down, I love me some My Hero, and Deku is my dude. Deku is my guy. Like that, I was Deku growing up. Yes, tears and all. I was Deku. But you know what? That's why I love him. But I will tell you straight up, Dragon Ball and the whole series of Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, and everything else is actually considered to be the best shonen anime of all time. I mean, if you go back and think about it, there's no other anime in the history of anime, especially here in the States and even in Japan, that has the longevity and has the memorabilia, and it has the base of fans that it continues to just reinvent itself with these same cliche things that they continue to do. So in my opinion, it has to be Dragon Ball series in a whole. and I still have yet to see the movie of One Piece, and not One Piece, of My Hero Academia. But from what the people who've seen it, they say they really like it, and I'm just gonna have to check it out. But I wanted to see an English adaptation, because even though I don't mind watching subs, sometimes I like to see the dub so I can concentrate on it more so, even though I know some of the translations and things get mixed. But that's just me. That's the same thing I'm having when it comes to this Brawley movie, which now we see the GT boys is back. We see what we was all wondering if Gogeta, Go-Getter. I like that's like the hood name of him. Hey, what's up with you, my dude? Hey, that's that Ninja Go-Getter right there. He a go-getter. No? Okay. But that movie, I'm waiting for it to drop here in the States so that way I can see it in English versus, fighting the action and stuff. I'm trying to watch it and read it in English and listen to the Japanese subs. I'm also watching that Megalobox. It's only 3 episodes now, and I'm really liking that classic feel. It makes me, I'm not sure if that's an old anime or if it's a new anime. I just know it's a Toonami anime, and when I wanted to go look it up to watch the whole thing or just binge it, yeah, I know, before Psycho Pass, but Psycho Pass is different than Megalobox. Megalobox is one of the quick ones. That's like comparing a GTA game to like a role-playing game. One you can get in and get out real quick. But this Psycho Pass, I feel that it's going to make me sit and really have to pay attention to it, and that's, I'm always doing something else. That's the issue right there in itself. But I've been watching Megalobox, and I like that series. It kind of has a whole Creed vibe to it, as well as having some other stuff that just feels like that old 90s rustic berserk type art style. As far as entertainment and when it comes to movies, I've been really bad. I know about Spider-Verse, I know what Spider-Verse has done, and I know about Aquaman and what Aquaman has done, but let me just put something right off top that I just have to say. Jason Momoa is what? Pacific Islander? The movie's good, I know, but I was just like, why nobody else in the movie Pacific Islander? Or nobody else, at least from what I've seen. I haven't seen the movie. You have to tell me. Comment in the comment section below. I'm pretty sure somebody will. But what? He the only person that looks like him inside the movie, and everybody else is white? Like, I mean, well, I'm just asking. He's from the what made, because he's the king, and he's King Arthur. Why? I just didn't get it. Like, I know that's just a little pettiness or whatever you want to call it with me, or just a question, or is this a minute detail that I don't really need as long as the movie's good? Yeah, that's true. I get it. I'm just wondering why. And he looks funny to me in the classic Aquaman suit. He just don't look like the same dude in the classic Aquaman suit. He just look a little funny to me. When I was gonna go watch the Spider-Verse, life happened, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna push it, but I'm gonna go and knock both of them out probably one day soon. Here, I might just go get a matinee and watch both of them, and maybe even do a review on it too. I like doing reviews, but then I don't like doing reviews because it takes some time to really sit and not have to write the scripts and do different things like that. But I do like it. I'm gonna have to find a way or some kind of gimmick or situation to maneuver that to make it creative, and not only creative but entertaining and funny for y'all when it comes to that as well. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised also, while we're sticking to entertainment, that last night on the Golden Globes, Black Panther did not win any awards. I mean, I guess they figured, hey, them boys already got them boys and them ladies already got what they need to get, just and made their point in their statement with Black Panther in the movie. But it is the best comic book movie selling wise. I mean, it shitted on Infinity War, and people were talking about Spider-Verse not doing as good as Aquaman, but Aquaman didn't do good as Black Panther. Neither. And where's my dude Chadwick Boseman? I mean, Michael B. Jordan, I really want to see him come back in another Black Panther movie, mainly because he was Black Panther movie, but I want Chadwick to get his own moment, because he was a different type of Black Panther when he was in Civil War versus when he was in his own movie. He was in this coming to age, being peaceful and a king type person, versus when he was in the first Civil War, he had an attitude. He was kicking ass and taking names. And I want to see what he's going to do now that he doesn't have a main antagonist, because Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger carried the whole Black Panther movie. Not the whole movie, because the ladies was doing their thing, but you know what I mean. It was a central focus on him and what he was saying and what he represented for the African American community. It was just bigger than the character, and I know Ryan Coogler realizes that as well. But I've already been on here for 30 minutes. If you happen to wait and to listen to me for all this long, maybe you on the drive going to work, or if you in a big city, or if you ain't in a big city, you stuck in traffic, this was probably this could have set you over. Listen to me ramble and stuff for a while. Next time, I promise I'll have my boy the black mage with his ashy ass elbows over here, and we'll have dual mics working and ready during that time. But I do appreciate you stopping by and listening to me ramble about video games, anime, and entertainment. If you did like this video, please make sure you hit that like button. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have anything you wanted to say, if you just want to say, hey Q, shut up, I appreciate it. Put that in the comment section below. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell like you the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You can ring that bell, notification. No, I thought it was going to go better, sound better in my head. But as always in the web, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.